Okay, students, we are here to do some long division review. We are going to review how to divide numbers with place value discs on a place value chart. We're going to review the standard algorithm, and we're going to do a check answer to use multiplication to check our quotient. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, first thing you do is draw out your place value chart here, okay, and then put your place value disc in it. So we have 300s, we have 70, and we have 8. Okay, and we're going to divide this into two equal groups for 378 divided by 2. Okay, so here we go. If I take 300 and divide it into two equal groups, I get 100 in each group with 100 left over. So that's 100 in each group, and I've got 100 left over. I'm going to cross that out from the hundreds column and regroup it right here into the tens column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, because 10 tens equals 100. So now I've got 17 tens, and I have to split that into two equal groups. Well, I have to know my math facts, right? 2 times 8 equals 16. That's pretty close. 2 times 9 equals 18. That's too big. So I need two groups of 8, right? So here's 7 of them, because that's what I started with, and I'm going to add one more from the bottom here. And there's a group of 8. And then I'm going to create another group of 8. So here is 4 and 8 right there. And that leaves me with one left over. So I've got two groups of 8 right there. And I've got this extra one, which I'm going to regroup. It's a 10. So I'm going to put it right here. And I'm going to get 10 ones. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now I've got 10 ones. So I've got 18 ones total, and I'm going to split that into two equal groups. Well, I know that 18 divided by 2 is 9. So I'm going to take these 8 right here, add 1 from the bottom, and I've got a group of 9. And then I'm going to take this group of 9 and circle that, and I have none left over, so no remainder for this one. So I've got 189 as my answer, 189. Okay, so now I know that I've got my answer is going to be 189, but I also need to be able to do these math problems using the standard algorithm as well as the place value disc. Okay, and you'll find out that the standard algorithm really does match up to the same exact thing you're doing with the place value disc. It's just a different way of looking at it. So you say, okay, how many times does 2 fit into 3? Well, it fits in there one time. We'll take a look at that. I had two groups of 1 right there, right? 2 times 1 is 2, so I'm going to subtract 2, and I have 1 left over. I had 1 left over here. I'm going to regroup that, right? So I bring down my 7, and I get 17, and I had 17 after I regrouped here. Okay, 2 fits into 17 8 times. Okay, 8 times 2 is 16, minus 16. Okay, 1 left over. I had two groups of 8 here, which was 16. I had 1 left over, and I regrouped, and I bring my 8 down, and I get 18 ones, which was right here. 2 times 9 is 18, and I'm going to subtract my 18, and I have none left over. So my answer, my quotient, is 189. Now we have to do the check answer, right? So this is how you check your answer with multiplication, right? So you take your quotient and multiply it by your divisor, and you should end up with your dividend. So I'm going to take 189, and I'm going to multiply it by 2, right? 2 times 9 is 18. Carry the 1. 2 times 8 is 16, plus 1 is 17. Carry the 1. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. I've got 378, which was my original dividend. So I know that my answer is correct. Let's do one more example problem here. So this one is 531 divided by 4. Now I've drawn out my place value chart right here, and I put my 500s here, my 310s here, and my 1 here, and I have to divide them into 4 equal groups. Well, 5 divided by 4 is 100 in each group with 100 left over. So there's 4 equal groups of 100. and I've got 100 left over, so I'm going to cross that out, and I'm going to regroup it over here as 10 tens. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I add that to my original 3 tens, and I have 13 tens. Now I know that 4 times 3 equals 12, and 4 times 4 equals 16. 16 would be too big, so I need 4 groups of 3. So I'm going to circle 3 tens here. I'm going to circle another 3 tens here. I'm going to circle 3 tens right here. And I have one more group of 3 tens, but there will be one left over. So that's 4 equal groups of 3 tens with one left over. I'm going to cross it out and regroup it right over here, and I get 10 ones because the 10 equals 10 ones, right? Okay, so I end up with 11 ones, and now I know that 4 times 3 is 12. That's too big, so I need 4 groups of 2, right? I need 4 groups of 2. So here's one group of 2, here's 2 groups of 2, here's 3 groups of 2, here's 4 groups of 2, and I will have a remainder of 3. Okay, so I'm going to end up with a remainder of 3. So I have 3 ones that were not accounted for. Okay, so I needed 4 groups of 2 right there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now I'm going to go see if I can do the same thing with the standard algorithm. So here we say 4 fits into 5 one time. 1 times 4 is 4. Okay, subtract, I have 1 left over. I bring down my 3, so I had 1 left over here, right? Each group of 100, 1 left over. Bring it down, I regrouped it, I got 13 ones here, and look at that, I bring down my 3, and I got 13 there. So 13 tens right here, 13 tens here. 4 fits into 13 3 times. I end up with 12, right? So I circle groups of 3 here, I circled 12 of them, and I will end up with 1 left over, and I regrouped it. So I bring down a 1 right here, and I get an 11. Okay, 4 times 3 would be 12, so I can't do that, but I'll do 2 right there. Okay, 4 times 2 is 8. Subtract, I have 3 left over. My remainder is smaller than my divisor, so I can use it as my remainder, and I end up with a remainder of 3. So same answer both times, 132 remainder 3. So 132 remainder 3. Now let's do the check answer with multiplication over here, only it's a little trickier this time because we have a remainder. So first thing I do is I take my quotient of 132 and multiply it by my divisor. So I'm going to say 132 times my divisor, which is 4. Okay, 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12, carry the 1. 4 times 4 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So I get 528, but then I have to add back my remainder because I didn't use that part. So there it is, add that back, and you get 531 because 8 plus 3 is 11, carry the 1, right? You get a 3 there and a 5 there. Okay, so 531, which brings me back to my original division, and that concludes our long division review today. So I hope you keep practicing. Remember, math involves practice and not giving up. Have a great day, Ledesma.